And now the moment you've all been waiting for, our social justice warrior and tonight's honoree, Dr. Robert K. Ross.
This was crazy. If I really did half of the things that y'all gave me credit for tonight, I'll take them though. I'm not giving it back. Let me start thanking my family who's sitting at that table right there. Stand up, y'all. Rosses and Calderons. Multiracial, multi-ethnic, Rainbow Coalition right there, my family. Let me thank my pastor, Carrie, and my congregational family at St. Mark's Church. Pastor Carrie and co-pastor Betsy, and that congregation carried me through the loss of my wife 4 years ago. Carried me on their back. Well, that was love, much love. And so I just want to thank you all for that. And also I want to thank the entire board of directors for sure. So the California board of directors right now, you might have noticed, is dominated by women of color. Which explains the timing of my departure. I ain't no fool. But I want to just thank the entire board for just support, love, nurturance, patience, just been there every step together. Everything you heard about tonight, that was attributed to me, that was us. That was us. Bishop Caracano was another just spirit. I've come out of the closet about my spirituality and my faith in the last several years. And it was just this combination of losing my wife and COVID and then the Trump thing. And, it was just, I just really had to turn even more inwardly to my faith. Bishop Caracano was our board chair during that period of time. And Bishop, you also were there for me with Robin's loss. And so I had pastoral and congregational support at St. Mark's, and as well as in the boardroom, they wrapped their arms around me. So thank you to the board of directors at the California Endowment and our great leadership in Kurt Chilcott and Kathy Flores. Thank you very much. Kurt will likely be the last white man to be the board chair at the California Endowment. So show him some love tonight. He's a vanishing species. We have a new incoming president and CEO at the California Endowment. She is a friend, she is a colleague, she is special. She is courageous, she is fearless, she is smart, she is tough, she is humble. She brings all of that to the table. Brenda Solazano. Brenda. Say something. I'll get the mic back.
Maybe not. About 22 years ago, I was a program officer at the California Endowment. And it was the first time in my career that I was in an organization that looked like me, that was led by a man that inspired me. And I loved being here, and I thought it would be my forever home. But I got an opportunity to take another job with an increased responsibility, an opportunity to move up in this world. And I was heartbroken because I did not want to leave the California Endowment. And I went to Bob and I told him, Bob, I have this opportunity. and be the man that he is, always being committed to the development and the mentorship of young people. He told me, Brenda, you need to go. You need to go and take on this new job and use it as an opportunity to grow because you have so much to offer. And know that if you leave and that doesn't work out, you will always have a home at the California Endowment. If it were not for Bob telling me that and giving me that encouragement, and it is a deep honor and pleasure to follow you, Bob. And I've been hearing you all day today. You have very big shoes to fill. And I realize I don't have big shoes to fill. I have a big heart to follow. And as I stand here and I look out, you, Bob, often talk about a beloved community. You have a beloved community in this room. And my commitment to you and everyone in this room is to love and care and protect and do everything I can to continue this beloved community. And you can have it like that.
I only have 3 words of advice for you. You got this. You got this. Thank you. Let me finish my thank yous. Staff. The staff at the California Endowment, again, much of the stuff that I got all these accolades and credit for were from the staff. They were amazing, amazing staff at the California Endowment. And then my executive team, people named Kate and Marty and Dan and Sarah, crazy ass Sarah. And Mike and Nicole and Hina and Jeannie and Sia and Cheryl. They're just amazing, amazing people. Mostly, again, it's that theme again, mostly women. And then I want to save the very last for those who are grantee partners out here. And so let me give me a minute. I know it's a late night. It's Wednesday night. Y'all are out here. Y'all could be home watching Netflix. I know playoffs are on. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize. But let me say this. It was mentioned in the rap. There was a reference to the La Placita Church, which over the years, and Jeannie and Hina know this, I would sometimes escape during lunch during the week. And the La Placita Church is a well-known church that has been a spiritual home, a refuge for immigrants and migrants and refugees. And it's only about a 2.5, 3-block walk from the California Endowment. So sometimes during lunch, if I didn't have a meeting or a Zoom or whatever, I'd walk over, stretch my legs, and I'd sit in the back of La Placita Church. And I would do 2 things. One is I would have my own moment of just sort of spiritual reflection. But then the second thing I do is I watch people pray. And poor folk and black folk pray different. They pray hard. Pray hard, right? And you've never been in a black church, or you've never been around poor people, you don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm not gonna try and describe it, because if you know what I'm talking about, I don't have to explain it to you. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I can't explain it to you, right? But poor folk pray hard. And I'll just watch, and I saw one moment an elderly Latina woman walk on her knees from the back of that church to the front of the sanctuary, on her knees, tears streaming down her face. And you can see how they're praying. And I asked myself, What is she praying about? What burden is she carrying? Does she have a brother who's just been deported by ICE? Does she have a son who's caught up in the gang life? A nephew that's in juvenile hall? A cousin who's struggling with mental health issues, living on the street? Is she a diabetic? And she's worried about her health and that she's close to losing a foot from diabetic nephropathy. And I'll return to my office with that picture in my head, because I needed to be in this role somehow proximate to the pain of injustice. And with that woman on her knees who was crawling to the front of that church, she was not suffering from bad luck. She was not suffering from the devil. It was structural and systemic. And it's our job and our responsibility to help her fix that shit. That's our job, right? And so I want to leave you on an up note, because you heard it from the young people. I just want to share this parting gift with all of you that really characterizes the work that we do in a quilt. And thank you to my staff, Sarah and team, for putting this together. This is a $1.8 billion quilt. Okay? Because each one of the patches on this quilt represent a t-shirt that represents a campaign that we supported over the last 15 or so years. Vota, schools not prisons, people power, right? Justicia, asegúrate, health for all, right? So each one of these campaigns that we supported, and this is why I became such an acolyte of investing in community organizing, because each of those campaigns was catalyzed and triggered by someone's voice, someone's pain, someone's trauma, someone's dreams, someone's aspirations. Like the woman crawling on her knees to the front of that church, that she has pain and trauma and dreams and aspirations for a place where she's seen. And when we invest in community building and power building, yes, it's a strategic value because we're trying to do a campaign to close down youth prisons. Yes, it's a moral investment because we're trying to send a message to the powers that be that this is unacceptable. But the spiritual dimension is I see your pain, I see your trauma, I see your story, I feel your energy, your freedom dreaming. I'm with you, I got you. And that's what we have the gift and the luxury and the blessing to do in this work. And so every time, I write the checks and sign the grants that the staff bring forward. But in this world, we're coming out of Washington, D.C. and spreading to many of the states is divisiveness and hatred and dislocation and marginalization and scapegoating. I am so proud to be part of a state and a community that is unapologetic about complete and full inclusion and for all. And every single one of you sitting in this room has your fingerprints on that, somewhere, somehow, and I thank you. And so I just say as we close, because we're gonna need this coming election and what comes after that, we need courage, y'all. We need to stand tall. Got it. And may the force be with you.